Okay, this is Mark Castle again, and this is the second video of day 25 after flow. And the reason I'm doing a second video this evening is because absolutely the most interesting thing happened this afternoon. I was working and I was kind of stuck. I was waiting for somebody to call me and I didn't know exactly what to do next. So I decided to sit down and watch Kyle's 35-minute video with Matt Kahn. And 3/4 of the way through, Matt mentioned this saying that is actually a takeoff on what Federico Fellini said, which is, there is no beginning, there is no end, there is only perfection. And he said he found it from a Buddhist monk, I believe. I'm not really sure. But when I Googled it, it was almost exactly a very famous quote from Federico Fellini. That said, the moment he said that, I burst into tears. And that was at 2:30 in the afternoon, and it took till almost a little after 5 to stop crying. And quite frankly, if I moved into that space again in my head, I probably would start crying again. And it's interesting because I had cried earlier in the morning on the morning thing, and I had cried last night for my friend's wife, or I was crying in the incident. I'm not exactly sure what the crying was actually about. But I was real clear that the forces of the universe, etc., were sending something to me. And so I sat with it, and I cried pretty hard off and on. I'm just absolutely exhausted from it. And the most important thing, I think the most important thing to say in this video, or the most valuable thing to say in this video, I try not to use the word important, is that when something like that comes along, the one thing that I do know is to be with it. Just absolutely be with it. That is my personal experience. That was how I was taught. And what was so fascinating about it was, oh, I wanted to check an email. And oh, I wanted to see if somebody texted me. And oh, I wanted to text somebody. And oh, I wanted to make that video right then for Facebook and for the EOL community. And anything to get me out of whatever the feeling was, whatever the force that was coming into me. And I really felt that it was extremely strong force. What to say next about that? I remember Kyle talking about his moment, a real moment of, he was on the road somewhere and the car came and the voice said, "Don't go." And he held up in a hotel room for 5 or 6 days, actually, and just was with the feelings. And Actually, the other night on the call, he talked about what would my life be like if I just sat on that couch and meditated for a week. It's pretty interesting stuff. I feel better. I also, the other thing that I did in the process of all of that was I canceled everything for the rest of the day. In between fits of crying, I texted people and I said, no explanation. I just said, I'm not going to make it. There was 3 appointments coming. I'm not going to make it, period. And I didn't. And I'm home. I'm watching videos on Paris on YouTube. And I'm going to go to bed soon, I can't. Pardon me, because I'm in the process of changing my clock to have a better adjustment. And today, the 17th, is the official start date. For someone who goes to bed at 9, I need to go to bed at 10, which I actually did last night. So in theory, I'm going to stay up to 11. But I only got 3.5 hours sleep last night. So anyways, thanks.